touches the eastern sky as I'm standing on this reservation road. Been looking forward to this day, but now it wants road. This road takes me back to my baby's house. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Traveling this old dirt road since my younger days. It's taken me to where I want to go. To a love so true and a love so right. Just take me home, take me down Reservation Road. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Reservation Road, take me home, carry me onward, back to her. Back to her, back to her, back to her. Take me home, Reservation Road.
Arota Islam Sagi. This is your president, Dr. Buu Nygren. Arota Islam Sagi. Yahat Kadini to the Sashin Lane, Kitchidito, Shibin the Sotao, KTNN, KJK, K Indian, Shiara. Hadasok is though other she and neck at Chibin, his national she had of it. As Yega, Hoton, Masanadon, Kitchedon, Canale, that again. Sashi Aro the neck at you. Hodone, the no Senegishi Aro Hadaki, so what end? Hodoe need not so speed the Doyat in Kedini to this Hodoye. Shiprock, New Mexico, Aro in Kitchen Slim, Northern Agency, a Hotoa Seyego. Hodoye, so my home agency from Northern Navajo, Ishin Hoto, it's a little different than tuning in from Winter Rock, Arizona. The 110th Northern Navajo Fair. So I know that a lot of you are here at in so again, continue to be safe, continue to look out for one another. And I know every Thursday I always enjoy updating the Navajo people. So again, first thing and foremost, upcoming holidays or appreciation days this coming Monday, October 9th, the Mobiskana is Indigenous Peoples Day. I know a lot of the other people still celebrate Columbus Day, but us Native Americans, just to honor ourselves and to take some pride into who we are as Native people, we like to acknowledge Indigenous Peoples Day. So again, continue to share and promote the expectations of being proud of being Navajo. So that's what's very important. So again, share the Naitlinigi Asiego, Chinda do the Nedan Linigi Hajo, Baby Nada Hosne, Ebenin Asiego. Yet net lobet see the Halloro be yodo, but let's send the Hallo Hashim, Kada the Kata. So again, just continue to promote being Navajo. And also, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I know there's a Native American woman, Navajo woman out there, but again, so I just wanted to make sure that you can continue to get some checkups. Sage Memorial Hospital in Ganado is actually promoting free screenings as well. If you want to call 928-755-4854 to schedule an appointment. So again, Native American women have the highest effect. It affects them a lot. So again, really check up on yourself and tell a relative. So that for women ages between 40 and 60 years old. So again, if you're uninsured or underinsured, give them a call in Ganado. Also, again, local announcements. Again, I'm calling from Northern Navajo Fair. So in just a little bit, I'm going to be getting out of this vehicle, and I will be making my way to the Youth Day, Elder Day, and then we have the President's tent here. So again, we're going to visit here, and then I'll make my way over to the Miss Northern Navajo competition as well. So again, and then yesterday we had a fun event. We had the President Nygren's Fitness Challenge over at the Shiprock High School arena, football arena. It was the 1 minute plank, 1 mile run or walk, 25 push-ups, 25 sit-ups with a 5 minute warm-up, 5 minute cool down. I almost made it into the elite category. I ran it in 10 minutes and 5 seconds. So I think in Tuba City, I'm going to make sure I run a little bit quicker. I think my mile time was 7:50 or something like that. And then you put the planks, the push-ups, and the sit-ups. It kind of takes up some time. So again, I really continue to encourage your physical and mental well-being as you're out and about in your community. So really work on those things. So I really do appreciate that. So again, and if you're in Tuba City, we're going to do the President Nygren Fitness Challenge. So look forward to seeing you out there. Also, we had the Vice President was also in attendance at the President Nygren's Fitness Challenge as well. So it was also good to see her last night at the dinner, the reception for all the former Miss Northern Navajos as well too. So again, very appreciative of her leadership and making sure that she's fulfilling the vision that I set out a year ago and the things that I've told the Navajo people that we're going to get accomplished under my administration. So it's always good to see the Vice President out and about with me as well. And we also had Fort Lewis Boarding School report was released on Tuesday, as you might have seen on my Facebook post about how some of the traumatic experiences from the 1900s, well over 100 years ago, where they found well over 30 of Native American individuals, whether they're a Ute, Southern Ute, Navajo, and their remains were found in making sure that we bring that awareness when it comes to some of the trauma, historical trauma that our elders experienced through the boarding school era. So again, always thinking about our relatives. I just cannot imagine what parents went through sending their kids off to get a strong education, but then again, never seen their kids. So it's very unfortunate. Definitely in this day and age, we can always remember what our grandmothers, our four grandmothers and grandfathers and our people have sacrifices. So again, we do every day to try to honor them by being successful and making sure that we can continue to be the best person that we can possibly be to help our Navajo Nation and our family and our communities. Also, the Federal Office of Surface and Mining Reclamation and Enforcement awarded the Navajo Nation $1.6 million in grants to help hire technical staff, invest more in information technology and inventory and in future planning when it comes to the abandoned coal mine cleanup left behind on the Navajo Nation. Again, so we're really trying to make sure we do that push, because I really encourage my staff to make sure that in the executive branch we do what we can to make sure that we're looking for dollars to make sure we do those cleanups. So within the executive branch, I let them know we got to be experts in grant writing, experts in grant spending. So let's make sure we're taking advantage of any free dollars that the government is going to put out there again. And then we're getting to the part where it's always sad, it's heart-wrenching. But I definitely do make a commitment to making sure that I put this a part of my report every week, is the missing Navajo people. This week we have 16-year-old Lakeisha Cici Tahi, last seen Friday, September 29. She's an 11th grader at Window Rock High School, 5'1", 130 pounds. If you've seen her, call 928-871-611. And then 16-year-old Adriana Billy, last seen September 28th, Crown Point, New Mexico. Also give Crown Point Police a call at 928-871-6111. Again, then 17-year-old Alexa 6, last seen at NXA Housing in the Yumbato on Sunday, October 1st. If you've seen her, call Crown Point Police at 928-871-6111. Again, that's one of those things it's tough to announce, but there's also very successful stories when you guys call in and locate a person, and that this person has been located and the family is well aware of it. So again, thank you for your efforts in partaking in trying to find our missing relatives as well. And what's happening in the world, obviously, if some of you have been staying in touch with the news, for the very first time, the Speaker of the House, of the U.S. House, a speaker has been removed in the 230-something years of existence of the 34 years in the U.S. history of the U.S. Congress. Speaker has been removed. A pro temp speaker will be put in place, and a new one will be elected. I know this is during a time when possible government shutdown for funding is possibly in the air as well. I know they issued an emergency and extended amount of time so that at least basic funding is provided to our government. So again, we're really doing what we can within my Washington office and the executive branch to make sure that we are doing what we can to make sure that funding is in place. And so this time in history, President Truman asked Americans to help Europeans recover in the first ever televised speech by an American president. So 76 years ago, 1947, President Truman gave the first ever TV speech to America after World War II, because a lot of the European nations were struggling post-war. They were in need of water, food, and things like that. So Truman asked the citizens of the United States to eat no meat on Tuesdays, poultry on Thursdays, and only a slice of bread each day, so that we can really try to help European nations recover and at least help them with some food, the food demand that's needed for them to recover again. But then in 1947, there was only a few, only thousands of TVs across the world. Now I know we're possibly into 1 billion TVs or millions of TVs across the world, but still, that was the first ever televised speech by a U.S. president. So, and then moving on to Navajo life lesson, I tell my staff this all day, every day. Don't complain, take action. One of the things I think about, it's easy to complain, but it's harder to come up with solutions and make things happen. So one of the things that I was told growing up was, meaning there's no need to complain, no need to come up with excuses of why things aren't happening for you. But the best thing you can do is prepare yourself and take action so that you can make something happen for yourself. So I think in Navajo, it's really clear cut is araban yaha la banjit idal araban yaha la dibinina to sha'anet dibinina to jni to jno e ha ishe bitsanon de hotende la ben yes is der do nilto la bihuj dos afto an sin zinigin la do ben sin kesigi la be es dilli la haira anina do des meaning so yeah, so that's a lesson that I've used in my entire life. A lot of you do know my story. It's a story that's really it's about and making sure that you're respectful, making sure that you make things happen, and having a good positive mindset will take you a long ways. And that's a lesson that's in this week's Navajo lesson of the week. Now moving on to the week's accomplishments. The Navajo Nation received 22 new police vehicles. As some of you have seen on our social media postings, that 22 new vehicles, mostly for Kayenta District as well. A lot of our police vehicles are mileage is over 200,000. Some of them are over 300,000. But these new vehicles will have state-of-the-art equipment, lights, and internet connections so that our officers can pull down reports and be able to make things happen a lot quicker. So again, a lot of you have expressed to me the need for more police officers, better equipment, better resources, so that our police officers can enjoy, because those police officers every day deal with so much trauma and things like that really affect their mind and their body and their soul. But as the president, I want to make sure they have the best tools so that they can better do their jobs. And then about another 70 new vehicles will be released within the next 18 months as well. And then also within the next 3 months, we're going to get 10 new ambulances. And all of this credit goes to all the leadership staff at public safety. I just want to say thank you to Deputy Police Chief Leonard Redhorse, his staff, EMS Manager Chris Casoli, and his team for really pushing public safety and first responders, making sure that they have their equipment. So again, within the executive branch, it's a big must. Without safer communities, it's harder to do anything. So again, that's a big one for us. The first ever tribal opioid summit that happened over 2 days. So they wanted to talk about the substance abuse of pharmaceutical drugs. So managers, leaders, and programs came together to figure out how can we take a stance for this, and how can we come up with some solutions that are completely feasible for the Navajo people. So once a report comes my way, we'll definitely post that to my website, or post that and email that out when we have that. So we got to continuously make things happen. Navajo Nation Veterans Administration reaches several milestones. I know over the past 9 months, our Veterans Department in Navajo really has received probably well over 1,000 requests, and really trying to make sure that data and processes and things and disability and enrollment for veteran health care benefits are being met. And so it's been good. We've really been improving on our customer services all across all the agencies, one-on-one consulting to rebuild the trust with our Navajo veterans as well. So that's a big must, because it's I feel like for the past 9 months it's been a very entertaining but we're making a lot of headway. So again, thank you for your support. Thank you for the big kudos that we get in phone calls and the people that I meet when I'm out and about, especially with the things that we're doing with veteran housing. I know we've started on a couple homes, and that's only the beginning as well. So when it comes to homes, we are making headway to try to make it easier and to be able to utilize some of the free funding that's out there to build homes. Also, Utah Broadband awarded $30,000 in grant, and all of you know broadband is big on my platform, because I really believe that we got to set ourselves up for the future. The way you set yourself up for the future is to make sure that we can have access to the internet no matter where we are in the Navajo Nation. You can start a business, you can get in touch with your government, you can get telehealth and things like that. So again, really trying to push broadband on my end. Major projects we're working on, training on the hiring process for all departments. I've really tasked all of them, not only every division, from my division, from Department of Justice to Department of Personnel, Division of Economic Development, Community Development. It's all about how quickly can we get somebody assigned and hired. I know when I took this job, there was well over 1,200 vacancies, and through the summer we almost reached 600 new people. And I know that I'm waiting on a new report that's going to showcase what we've done in 9 months. So again, my goal is to hire people, and so that they have an opportunity to provide for their families. Veterans Affairs, I know veterans is a big part of my administration, and there's a reason why I have one person that's dedicated in my office, that Olin Kiyomi, that takes phone calls, that takes constituents, and then from there relays that information to the Navajo Veterans Department with Bobby. And we're really working on making sure that things are happening. Again, especially with resources within the Navajo land, nursing home in Chinle, doing what we can to help with some of their shortages as well, and then coming up with alternative methods and to make sure that our veterans are being heard. Meet and greets over the past week. We have Central Consolidated School, the superintendent, the assistant super Peter Deswood, and then Superintendent Steve Carlson, the board chairman, and also we had one of the things that we're really trying to work on is to have one voice to make sure that we're completely behind all the initiatives when it comes to our education and the dollars that we get from the state of New Mexico and federal funding. And the way I look at it, one Navajo person is just as good as any Indian person. We shouldn't say, you know what, there's too many Navajos, so we're only going to give you 1/12 of what another Indian is going to get. To me, we're all the same, so we should get the same amount of funding. So that's going to be my stance as your president, as funding and budget opportunities are from the state and the federal level are coming our ways, to make sure that we're just as important as any other Indian. And that's how I think about sa atin the ni tlinigido sa haut of stage dan then askest oban siske sebinina based on kichi hundas and he askest oi ayat etole. So again, so that's one of the things that we talked about, is uniting as one. And then I know Central Consolidated School is really trying to push their new school out in Newcomb. We're really going to connect them with NTUA to figure out how can we bring the right amount of power and work those things out, because building new schools is not only jobs, but it's only a better opportunity for our kids to have the best kind of education. So again, and then also had a visit from the Navajo Land Commission, Otto So, Honorable Delegate Honorable So from Tuba City. I know he's a big advocate and a big supporter of mine. So again, thank you to Delegate Otto So for your leadership. Thank you for everything that you do for the good community of Tuba City, and not only the Western Agency, but him and the other delegates on the Navajo Land Commission. I know that the director, Sarah Slim, is my appointment to make sure that she runs that on the executive branch. But we're really trying to push the Horseman's Lodge with Navajo Nation Gaming Enterprise and Flagstaff, because it comes down to employment, jobs, and revenue back to the Navajo people. So again, we're really trying to push that project. My hope is that before the end of the year, that project is up and moving and moving fast. And then, so upcoming events, tomorrow, we're going to have a new Miss Northern Navajo. So again, Friday evening, there's 2 people running for Miss Northern Navajo. Casey Frank from Upper Fruitland, Ariana Austin from Shiprock, and then 4 contestants from Miss Teen Northern Navajo. Hanaba Sloan of Tlosakan, Melaine Montoya from Cove, Ayana Dixon from Upper Fruitland, and Pepper Pete from Rock Point. I just want to say congratulations and good luck. Regardless of who wins, you guys are great examples and good role models for the future, that we look forward to the things that you're going to do. And then this weekend, Saturday, there's the parade, a good 6.2 miles. So I will not be running. So I'll be on the horse red and making my way around. So again, if you see me, give me some high fives. Let's take a picture. And again, as your president, I really do appreciate every single day the opportunity that you have given me. So I bring a lot of accountability, transparency, and the quickness that I want to see within our government, because that's what you guys asked me to do, is get a working president that's in the office and making things happen. So I spend about 80% of my time is in the president's office, working with divisions, working with employees, working with business owners, stakeholders, and leaders, and coming up with innovative solutions that we want to see and not just talk about it. So again, as your president, it's an honor to represent all 400,000 plus of you, all 27,000 square miles of the most beautiful country in the entire world. And it's an honor to be your Navajo Nation president. And if you've missed, if you want to hear the Navajo version, go to Spotify and look for me, and go to Apple Podcasts, look for me, and you will hear the Navajo version in 20 minutes. So and up next is the Vice President of the Navajo Nation, Richelle Montoya. Agone.
Hi, everyone. This is my first time joining via StreamYard, so it's an interesting platform. I'm actually on travel right now. I'm at a housing conference. I was able to deliver a keynote address this morning. I really focused on the concept of, it's a housing legal conference, so I focused on the concept of adequate housing as a human right. That was really interesting, great discussions that I've had with folks afterwards. As you know, the president is very committed to bringing housing to the nation, and there's a lot of interest. In fact, many of you know that we have weekly presentations, I guess, from DOJ attorneys. And this week we're presenting on how to get your home site lease, and that's going to be provided by the Assistant Attorney General for our Natural Resources Unit. And as of yesterday, the advertisement for that alone has been shared over 2,000 times. There have been, hundreds of comments. There's a lot of interest. I think it just underscores the need and desire for housing on the nation. And of course, getting your home site lease is part of that process. So I'm here networking and trying to connect with the right people to help bring the president's vision to fruition. And definitely home site leases are part of that. We want to provide a diverse spectrum of housing for our tribal members so that everyone has an opportunity to come back. So looking forward to continuing to build that plan and start executing that. So, but it's been a really great opportunity. And in terms of general updates, I have been able to get some really important things off the ground in the month of September. One of them is we had our first anti-corruption task force meeting. Something that I worked on a lot last time I was Attorney General was ensuring public integrity, especially in using public funds. Because any funds that are diverted to someone's personal enrichment is dollars that really could be spent delivering services to our elders, our veterans, our youth. So we want to make sure those dollars are being properly expended. So that was really great, bringing folks into a room together. We had a commitment from Office of Ethics and Rules and the prosecutor's office to start meeting on a weekly basis. So I'm hoping to get a great update on that at our next monthly meeting. We'll be meeting regularly, just making sure that there's coordination so that we have a strong response when there are reports of misuse of funds or theft of Navajo Nation assets. And so that includes Ethics and Rules, Office of Auditor General, Office of Controller, Office of the Prosecutor, especially our white collar crime unit. So that was really great. Also coordination with our insurance department. So that is underway. And then I also was able to pull together public safety partners to start working on kind of planning towards the next public safety summit for the nation. But really it's just to coordinate services, not just the direct response services, in terms of officer response and prosecution and timely disposition in the courts, but also the wraparound services as well, like through social services and behavioral health services. So that was also very great to bring folks together. We've actually met in that group twice now. We had our second meeting yesterday. yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago. In any event, we shared a bunch of data, updating each other on what's happening with health on the nation and how that ties into substance abuse and crime. And then also got a better sense for what the major cases are, what the major types of cases are that the prosecutor's office is prosecuting, as well as the more high incident crimes that are happening on the nation. So it's very helpful to get that update. And eventually we do want to be able to share this information with the public as well. But our internal team is kind of tightening up their data. And then next month, we're going to start talking about triaging these issues. So if there's some disruption in the flow, from when an incident happens to prosecution or disposition in the courts, we want to make sure that we're identifying that, smoothing that out, making sure that there are enough people to get the work done and ensure that there's justice in our community and our communities are safe. So that was really great to have that meeting as well. And then on the Operation Rainbow Bridge front, we had a great quarterly meeting last week, and we're able to kind of hone in and focus going forward. So we do want to continue to build our presence in the Valley and continue doing that immediate response and helping transition our relatives from existing care providers, the bad actor providers, to hopefully safe providers, and then also bringing our people home if that's what they want to do. But we also have some long-term planning to talk about. So, thinking about well, what's the long-term solution? And part of that is actually housing. So everything's kind of coming together, which is really, really great. And also just reaffirming that we're putting our energy where it's most needed. And where it's most important for delivering services to the Navajo people. So very good to see that. We also want to continue. Thank you everyone for sharing information about Operation Rainbow Bridge and the phenomenon that's happening in terms of recruitment of our people into these facilities, particularly the bad actor facilities, and then the difficulty of leaving that environment for our people once they're in those homes. So we want to continue building that awareness and remind people, if you don't know someone, don't go with them. So don't know, don't go. If you see something, say something. We continue to have our hotline for Operation Rainbow Bridge, and you can always send information to us through our website and our Facebook page as well. And we do have people receiving those messages and handing those off to someone coordinating our investigations and who is able to hand those things off to local law enforcement if that's appropriate. So that's my update, essentially. Hopefully, I don't know if I stayed within my time frame, but thank you very much, everyone, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and hope to see some of you at the Shiprock Fair. Yahet.
When the music stops, I'll walk you to your door. You say goodnight like 1,000 times before. This is the night, I just want you to know. This is the night, I just can't let you go. Till tomorrow. Well, I can't wait until tomorrow. I need you tonight. should we wait until tomorrow? Why should we wait until tomorrow?
Hello, good afternoon, Yat. All you listeners. Sean McCabe, Yinishye, Ashinidishle, Touch It Nibashish Gene. And I'm coming to you from Winter Rock, Arizona to provide a quick update on what's going on at the Office of the Controller. So, yeah, thank you for being here and thank you for the opportunity to update what we're doing. The first thing, those of you who may have heard me in the past have heard that we've been working pretty diligently to update our systems at OOC, and really in an effort to break down what has really proven to be a pretty cumbersome red tape filled process. And what we're trying to do at OOC with a new accounting system last week, and we're happy to announce that we cut off the date for submissions from outside companies to propose a new system. We got 10 proposals, which we'll be vetting over the next few days to try and get a more modern way of doing business here. Our current system is almost 30 years old. And if those of you that can remember back to 93, remember the technology back then, I believe we actually implemented this system in 97. So it may have been about 25, 26 years ago, but remember back in 97, the technology that existed and what's out there today, vastly different. So we're trying to update everything really in an effort to start being more efficient with our accounting processes, not in any way trying to break down any internal policies, still maintaining, the integrity of the accounting, and also transparency. We feel like a new system will help with transparency and accountability, which I know is very much needed. And a new system will help us do that. And so we're very happy to announce that we got 10 proposals last week. We'll be looking to vet those over the next couple of weeks, and an implementation time will take about a year. So hopefully looking to start the new year off, new fiscal year next October, with a new system ready to go, with a new strong internal policy, but more efficient. And really what it comes down to is getting necessary funds into our coffers and then out to the people, providing the resources necessary to run our departments, but also monies to go out to the chapters and the people that need it. I think everyone that is familiar with Navajo in the past is very familiar with how bureaucratic it can be and notoriously slow, to the point where vendors stop even working with us because they can't get paid. And we're trying to change that all now with these systems. So we'll be providing updates, over the coming weeks as to how this is going. Also, we've been working with the Office of Management and Budget, DOJ, to simplify the process for chapter receipt of ARPA money through subrecipient agreements. That has had some hurdles, but we're getting over them. And hopefully the monies that were intended to go to chapters through the delegates for the ARPA monies will be flowing here very shortly. We're already starting to see a decreased time for processing on those with some of the things that we've done. So Office of the Controller is really just committed to providing, the service not only to our departments and our divisions, but to our people, of getting resources in like ARPA monies, federal money, state monies, tax generated monies, and other things, and then get them out as quickly as possible to where they're needed, which is the people and the chapters. We've also been able to complete our audits. Our audits were done for the federal single audit plus our financial statement audits. Those have been completed, and we're happy to report that through our efforts, we were able to resolve hundreds of millions really in questions costs that were, keep in mind, these audits were from 2022. So even before I got here. So we're talking about the prior administration and others. We were able to get those completed, but also save the Navajo Nation a ton of headaches and potential payback of monies up to in the hundreds of millions, as we were able to work diligently with the auditors to get those findings resolved. So we're pretty happy to announce that we were able to get that done. Again, saving the Navajo Nation of a lot of potential headaches and potential payback of a lot of money, particularly with ARPA. We got that done last week. Congratulations, and a big thank you to my team at OOC, OMB as well, DOJ, and under my leadership, just to get those things resolved and make sure our operations at Navajo are continuing to move forward. Also happy to announce that with that, we're looking at working with our funding agencies. The Navajo Nation has typically been considered a high-risk auditee with our funding agencies, meaning there's issues that we run into with BIA and other funding sources based on some of the audits and the performances in the past. And we're cleaning that up now, trying to get to where the Navajo Nation has zero findings on their audit report. And we're working hard to try and get that done. And so just happy to announce that we're actually starting to make some good progress. And again, the goal of all this is to basically give our people a better product, both internally, again, to our divisions, our directors, but also a better product out to the people and the chapters of the Navajo Nation. A lot of it starts with the foundation. And that's one of the things I personally in my office trying to work on and improve is the foundation of our accounting systems and our accounting policies. We're trying to enhance integrity. We're trying to enhance transparency and accountability, but also become much more efficient than we've been in the past. And there are ways to do this. Those of you that don't know me, I have an extensive past, over 20 years of providing accounting and audits to tribes all over the country. And I'm bringing that experience here to Navajo as a Navajo person, full-blooded Navajo, and part of my people here. Just an effort to try and improve things. I say this to my oversight BNF committee, and I've said it to the full council. We can do better, and we will. And that's what we're working for. Very thankful to our leadership at the council, also President Nygren and Vice President Montoya and all the division directors for working with my office, really just to clean things up, get things going in a better direction for us, and also really just get better. And again, big thank you to my team for working with me and helping push these things forward, and just keep on getting better. I mean, that's really the goal behind this. So I believe that's about my 10 minutes. So I want to thank you all again. Thank you, Shidene Doshike, and I will hopefully talk to you all soon. Again, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Richelle Montoya, your Navajo Nation Vice President. I am actually here in Albuquerque, New Mexico right now. I just got done finishing having lunch with my sister and one of my yash here before I go back into some more meetings. I'm here to talk with the state of New Mexico's tribal government to government about education. And just wanted to stop in and say hello, everyone, and just say have a wonderful weekend this coming weekend. I know we have the Shiprock Northern Navajo Fair that's happening this weekend. So have fun out there, be careful, watch out for one another, look out for one another. And then also for the past week, the Office of the President and Vice President have been working hard for you, our Navajo people, to go through our policies and procedures again. That is a tedious task. I'm sure a lot of you can understand and know that that is something that is much needed across Navajo Nation. And we are doing our best to bring the ways of this current century into the Navajo Nation. Ani shiyaj controller McCabe what ya hold na do ya ha zi di kwagi ya di based on that zogi ya what open big nashna no ya hold na. And each one of our directors across Navajo Nation what ha ta hasid go gitin dad nashiki to bandad nashiki what ka na jako halet ya di kwagi nkik the neta ni kliniki njuna go bishin del nishto do one del nishto nehiko sats niliki la height out on nita no ya yang sida case go kwaki nkina banana shite and ko ba and I would just ask my Navajo citizen kwaki patience when yahiki to keep that on for to keep that in mind for us as we work with the Navajo Nation policies and procedures, and also work with our Navajo Nation 25th Navajo Nation Council, there and leadership as far as making laws and amending laws and all those different types of ways to make sure that our policies and procedures and the laws of the Navajo Nation are run efficiently for you. So it's a lot of teamwork, a lot of communication that needs to happen between the three branches of government to make sure that we're working in the right direction. Echo. Y'all. It's a big task across, and I do my best to help in the best way and the ways that I can as the Navajo Nation Vice President. Some of the times it's just finding out what's going on with where these documents are, where the process is, and working with the Navajo Nation employees to make sure that they have the right tools and the right things that they need to continue on with their work. So campaign even the facilities, it's not a good fit for everyone right now. And again, like on my last Facebook Live, I talked about how Shiyaj, Shonovan Dale, and his team in Department of General Services are working on auditing and going through the buildings and seeing what's needed. And basically, it's going to come down to how much it's going to cost and where we're going to find the money to maintain these buildings and which is better, either to maintain it or what else we can do with it. So that's a task. That's another task again, everyone. And I appreciate each and every one of you for keeping us in your good thoughts. And so the zen wal yahikit en hideni ke dikwan ki halit absent on the sto harolo base on not dot as a ko eya ko that nishiki can kick a kana jahagi njuna go bahas ango even on shina de ego like Lanitzo eya once they kesto bendenish ako ani eya association nale Buu Nygren ni hitzi President Nygren eya benanish e lago ko look at Vice President Shlido Division Directors Dani Klido kut out they need nishako eya kut out katne jako e nasna or stato they had no eya yet Nihinj kids was in Lidingito, Hojogon case with Yahiki. Show what our Aya Kwagi, that Navajo Nation Kinjuno Nana was don't again, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I thought Ajit Naho Saturday Kusheya, Kintach, in Kilhanat, Nahatcha. And last night I was honored and privileged to be the guest speaker at the 110th Northern Navajo Fair Grand Marshal Parade Grand Marshal Banquet in Shiprock, Adi Aya, celebrating 70 years of Miss Northern Navajo. And then I'm not sure how the number of Miss Northern Navajo team, but Echo Aja Efkana, Himchke, Diniki, Northern Navajo, na not ash, Aro Yeviche, Esto, Efkane Jacko Aja, Haliki, Bakaije, Jian, Diniki, to be there in support of the patient there. It's a Navajo way. What anki gataho ato what albatah means in Goko ajishi eya alkati jashik e ado just take care of one another, and we're back in school. School should be going pretty well right now for everyone. I just ask that we let our kiddos know to be kind to our teachers, to our janitorial staff, the cafeteria staff, the administration that are out there taking care of our students, our children for a majority part of the day. And to the students out there that may be listening in Navajo language class or government class, be good kiddos. Always be kind, and always remember that everything you're learning right now is just a part of your foundation that you're going to carry forth in the next years of your life. And it's probably it's a task to be in school, as I remember, but just take it one day at a time, do your very best. And everybody that's there in the school that's an adult is there because they want to be there, and that they want to be helpful to you as young individuals. So just remember that, and help take care of your teachers, help take care of everybody that works at the school as they take care of you. Again, thank you so much, everyone. Again, my name is Richelle Montoya, your Navajo Nation Vice President. Have a wonderful day, and always remember that the Vice President's door is always open in Window Rock. Have a good day.
To our